listening to the Stupidity In Your Ear podcast. Here comes the stupid.
Welcome back to the Pondcast. It is your favorite festive guys. Welcome back to the Pondcast, everybody. How you guys doing?
Let's get festive in this
What's up?
podcast.
Sam, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. Just finished up my second exam. It always feels good to buy a pack of pens and use them. And before your first exam, you take a pen out, and it's a fresh pen, and you use that on the whole exam. And then 2 days later, you use that on the other exam, and you use all the ink in the pen in 2 exams. My hand hurts, like, badly.
That's the United Kingdom for you, people.
Yeah.
That's why America is better.
That is not logical.
Okay. Anyway, it is almost Christmas. It's almost Christmas time. And so we here at Stupidity are celebrating our Christmas stuff. For those celebrating Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah.
Shout out Jerry Seinfeld. He's Jewish, so happy Hanukkah, Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah.
Shout out Jerry Seinfeld. He's actually the sponsor. He's actually sponsored an episode before.
Yeah, he has.
But he's sponsoring this one again.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jerry Seinfeld. He's having us on for comedians. We did this joke already. So anyway, speaking of cars, because he does that, the other day, I was on the highway. And so I was driving, highway. Yes, and I was screaming, "Life is a highway!" Anyway, I was driving, and we're on the highway, so there's 2 lanes, and there's construction, so we have to merge into 1 lane.
Right.
And so traffic is backed up just so far. Yeah. We're just so pitted. Pitted.
And then the barrel with the whoop-a.
Yeah. So anyway, it's backed up so far, and so we're all just in 1 line. And then,
or
just see,
a queue if you happen to be from
yeah. So if you're on Spotify, it's in the queue. And so basically, it's 1 long line, and then you just see somebody pull out from the very back and just drive in this open lane all the way to the front.
Yep.
And try to merge in at the very front.
Right.
And I realized, like, I know driving pet peeves are like cop-outs, but that has to be like one of the most annoying things. Like that is unbelievable. That is crazy annoying. Like, I wanted to get out of my car, walk up to them, knock on the window, have them roll it down and say, "Good morning, sir," and then just punch them directly in the face. And little do they know, I'm wearing brass knuckles.
Oh.
So I'm very prepared for this fight. And so then they come out, and they've got a crowbar, and I'm no. Oh, no. And then I reach out, and they're like, "You're going to bring guns to a street fight?"
Nope.
And I say, "No way." And I pull out my double huge wrenches. And then I realize I'm in Fast and Furious 7, one of the best movies ever made.
And then all of a sudden, a helicopter flies by. And then your buddy drives his car off
the roof.
Off the roof, and he attaches a bag of grenades. And then you pull out your Desert Eagle and you snipe the bag of grenades, and therefore the helicopter blows up, and you save all of the cars.
And don't forget that you're over a mile away, and you pull out your revolver.
I forgot it was a
recently broken arm that you broke your arm out of the cast, and you don't even miss once. You shoot 1 shot directly onto this bag of grenades, and you're thinking, why would you not just throw the grenades, like armed grenades, into the helicopter, and why risk someone having to shoot it from a mile away? Right. I'll tell you why. Because it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Exactly. And then you immediately turn to your girl who's next to you and you say, "I remember that one night in the Dominican Republic."
Absolutely. The single best movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is the pinnacle of film, the pinnacle of movie production, directing. I mean, you name it, Fast and Furious has got it.
Speaking of movie critics, I was in my exploring literature class, and we were talking about movies, and we were watching
That's an
this.
analytical class.
Yes, we were talking about. We were watching this video about film critiquing, and this guy was bashing on Transformers,
What?
and I was like, "Excuse me, sir. Michael Bay is a visionary who blessed us with some of the best movies, if not the best movie series of all time."
Mm.
And so, to that man who was critiquing what is, again, the best movie series of all time, Transformers, starring Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox was in there one time, and we all know she's a great actress. Mark Wahlberg was in there.
Shia LaBeouf.
A bunch of people, yeah. But that movie's great, and so for those who hated it, I say boo.
Mm-hmm. And you know, the only person that I think is better than Michael Bay is Michael Myers. The Austin Power movies it's just this never-ending drama of
Gosh.
will they, won't they?
I know.
Oh my goodness! I almost said, "Oh look, there's a midget," but then I've heard recently that term is not socially correct.
Yes, it is
So
not.
I'm going to say there is a short
Small
person.
person.
Ah, okay. Short person. I apologize.
Again, wrong. Anyway.
No, that's not right either.
No, it's small
What is
person.
Oh,
but-
small person. Okay.
Yes. So
Interesting.
last week we were talking, and I realized one of my favorite memories that I had forgotten. And while we're on the topic of theater and movies and stuff,
Right.
let me give you guys a setup. Brad, who's listening, there's this weekend where my great grandma was turning like 88 or something. And so we had people come over, like family members come over to my house, like just a bunch of family members. Had to be like 15 people, or maybe like 20, maybe. I don't know, maybe it's 15.
17, maybe 18.
Well, no, because it was my mom's side of the family, so it could have been. Well, no, you were there, like
Right.
maybe.
Well, okay, I remember at the time playing a lot of what was that game? The trivia game?
Sabak.
Quiz Up, I think.
Anyway.
Trivial Pursuit, where you carry around a board
Yeah.
game all day playing Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah. So then that must have been 15 then.
Yeah, it was definitely 15.
Well, no, because
No, there was a baby, so it was 15.
No, yeah, there was the baby, so it must have been 16.
Well, half.
Well, yeah, because baby.
A baby was
We'll
like-
just say
is half a baby.
16 for now, and if
Okay.
we think that we'll come back and we'll discuss it later.
We can touch
Anyway,
on it later.
yeah, we'll touch on that later. So we must have been in like 6th or 7th grade, so very early,
Mhm.
and so basically, Sam, your parents were going out of town for the weekend, and so you
Yes.
were going to stay the weekend at my house, and so you were there for this big family event, and again, we're in like 6th or 7th grade, and Sam and I were we were pretty sheltered, pretty innocent kids.
Yeah.
And so whatever. My whole family takes Sam and I to this theater event. This theater that's, I guess, in Wichita. I've
Yeah.
never been back. Would love to go back.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were at this theater, and I don't think my parents really knew what it was, because I don't think they would have taken my 88-year-old great grandma, or maybe it was her idea. I don't know. But anyway, so
Your 88-year-old grandma and 15 other people.
yeah, who are all very like conservative, like older people.
And the baby with no legs.
the
Like, that's
baby, yeah.
crazy.
What's up?
Huh?
Legs? Is that what you said?
Huh? What?
I don't remember that child. Anyway,
Yeah.
so whatever. They did this production, and so like they do this this one play which was really good,
Yeah.
and then they kind of did like an intermission type of thing, and during this intermission they did like some sort of dance skit almost, and so this was when "Call Me Maybe" was very popular. That song, if you remember.
No, can
Hey,
you
I
refresh our
just-
memory? Yeah.
And this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. But
Wild.
here's my number. Call Me Maybe? So that was that song.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they started playing that song, and then this woman comes out She was attractive. I would say she was attractive. And as a 7th grader, she was attractive.
As a 7th grader, a lot of things are attractive. I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes a nice pie is attractive, and you're like, why am I attracted to this pie? And you're like, oh, puberty. So.
Moving on. So basically, though, unfortunately, she was dressed rather provocatively, which I think was related to the skits, which I think was why my parents would have regretted taking me and my friend to this event. And my great grandma was laughing the whole time. But basically, she was what she was doing was she was giving out her number,
right?
Like pieces of paper, people in the audience. And so a lot of them were attached to her body, and he had to grab them.
Yes.
But unfortunately, we were sitting like in the front row.
Classic.
So she came down to me near the end of the song, and again, early middle school, she puts the piece of paper in her mouth, and so then this early 6th and 7th grader who is incredibly uncomfortable around women, still am, but was especially then, and most awkward person I ever met, and definitely very sheltered. She would not leave until I bit the piece of paper out of her mouth and took it from her. And so the music, of course, the best song of all time, Call Me Maybe, it swelled. I looked in her eyes, and I just thought to myself, this is the moment. This is the moment. And I leaned in, and I bit that piece of paper, and we met eyes, and I ripped it out of her mouth, and I still have that today. It's framed on my wall.
I can attest. It is framed on his wall. Still has her lipstick on it.
And mine too. So. And
yeah, Calvin does smell it a lot, which is weird. I tell him, that's weird, Calvin. You shouldn't smell that. From a stage performer at a small-time production in Wichita, Kansas. But
you saw the spark. You can't deny that there was some sort of spark.
I want to deny it because I'm jealous that 7th grade Sam didn't get to do that. Who am I kidding? I was so happy it was not me. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever had to do. I was literally like, what on earth? Oh, man.
I forgot
good
all
times.
about that. I forgot that happened. That is so funny, man. That's hilarious.
So funny, but good times. But.
Speaking of being sheltered, I've got a story. So, Lauren and I went down to Glasgow this weekend because we went to see a concert. Gregory Alan Isakov, great concert, loved it. Anyway, we stayed with one of my friends from Young Life that I did work crew with like 2 summers ago. And she goes to college or uni there.
Uni, dude, that's so sick that you go to Scotland, dude.
Yeah,
go uni, so sick, dude.
So sick, college, man.
I don't want to bash on Sam, but he's totally steezing on the rest of us, and it's like, what?
Really crimping like the style, my fam.
Yeah, I bought black jeans, so you could say that I skate.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. You a skater, dude?
Vans? Yeah. You got skate? Vans, bro? You got Vans?
You skate? You skate or no, dude? You definitely a skater?
Hold on. No, dude, but like, I like ride a longboard, though.
Yeah, dude, definitely it is. Hey, dude, you skate, dude?
We have to stop. What was I saying?
I don't even know. Oh, you were in Glasgow.
Yeah.
In Moscow. And
Yeah. And this friend that we were staying with, she lives in a flat with 5 other students. And a couple of her flatmates are a little crazy. They get their party on, you know? And again, sheltered kid from Wichita. I didn't go to a lot of parties growing up, you know. Still don't.
I don't know about that. That's a lie, guys. Do not believe that. Sam was a party animal in high school.
What can I say? I mean, I won Sudoku every time.
Sam would be at lunch playing Sudoku on his phone, and we'd be like, Sam, You've been ignoring us for 20 minutes. You're like, no, sorry, guys, I gotta go to the couch.
Okay. I can
go study my couch
solve
tennis.
a Sudoku puzzle in like 6 minutes, bro. That's like an average time.
That's what you should be bragging about. That's awesome,
Expert
dude.
mode. All right.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Anyway, so we get to Glasgow. We walk around. We go to. Oh wait, no. This was after the concert. So after the concert, we're going back to our place.
Well, it was after.
Well, let's see. There's like 15 people.
So
and a baby.
Yeah. Well, if it was before, then you would have been wearing the jacket, but it was kind of hot in the theater, so you probably took it off. So were you wearing the jacket or no?
Well, then because I had to go back outside, so I put the jacket.
That makes it so much more confusing.
Right. I know. And I was wearing a sweater too, so I had a sweater and a jacket on.
Oh, come on.
I know. It's tough. But anyway, I put the sweater back on. We go to the flat, and her roommate is snorting ketamine off the table.
What's good?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I was like, tight. Let me get some of that booger sugar. Eat some of it in my nose at right now.
Booger sugar.
No, but like that's the first time I've ever really seen drugs. And it was shocking. It really was. You know, I expected it to be like anytime I see people do drugs in the movies, like Wolf on Wall Street, like everyone's having fun, but it was just like it was kind of depressing. It was just like 6 dudes sitting around this table, like snorting ketamine, and it looked like really childish. It was crazy, man.
I think part of that is we were sort of desensitized to that because obviously seeing movies, but also everyone at lunch would buy like sour Skittles and stuff like that, and they'd snort the sugar, and you're like, wow, that's incredibly dangerous and stupid, but it's funny. And so then now that you see actual drugs, you kind of still think of it as like
that's fair
sugar. So shout out to all the people who like snorted sugar at lunch because they
smoking
were
Smarties.
Peer pressure. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, smoking Smarties.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Cool stuff. Very cool. Thank you, Kanye. Very cool.
I have been saying that so much. I have to stop. Thank you, Kanye. Very cool.
Very cool. It's too addicting.
Kind of like ketamine.
Oh, yeah. So what is ketamine? Is it an opioid? I don't honestly know.
I think it's horse tranquilizer. It's a depressant.
Is it really?
Yeah. But apparently they were also doing coke. So it was like, you do ketamine and coke. I don't get why the heck people would do a suppressant and a deep or wait, suppressant and what is it called, a suppressant?
No,
anyway,
suppressant's what you put on a pistol and makes you shoot quieter.
Sorry, frick, my bad.
Yeah, James Bond used them, and unfortunately, James Bond would definitely get killed by Jason Bourne.
It's such a sad fact, but a fact it is indeed.
Yeah, it is a fact. It is factual evidence. I can't wait to have guests on and keep asking that question.
We haven't asked somebody that in a long time.
I know. Did we ask Lauren? We asked Lauren, right?
She wouldn't have known the answer, man.
Well, and we need to do that for every guest. Is make sure we ask. That's going to be our thing.
Yeah, it's going to be our thing. Yeah. Also, if you are potentially going to be a guest in the future and you're listening, you better start preparing something now because we're stepping up our standards for people that are funny because we are so funny and we have such high standards of comedy that we just want to make sure that everyone else is on the same level. Yeah. And that doesn't come from a prideful place. We're the humblest guys we know. But you know,
mine comes more of not from pride, but more of like an arrogance, like and a cockiness type of thing.
Well, and the problem is that people want to like hate on arrogance, but like, where would the world be without arrogance, right?
Terrell Owens would not have been so good if he hadn't have believed that he was the best wide receiver of all time.
Abraham Lincoln wouldn't be president if he wasn't arrogant. Like, that's just everyone.
Exactly.
You can't deny that. You can't deny that.
Mother Teresa would not have been able to give her life in service if she would not have believed that she was the most perfect person of all time. And so, that being said,
arrogance.
No, W.
Oh. Okay, Arrow.
Yeah, perfect.
Aeroplane. Yeah, it's such a great movie.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Not racist at all.
Yeah,
Really
no,
not.
definitely doesn't have undertones of complete racism. But
No.
anyway, speaking of arrogance, I was giving this presentation of in one of my classes the other day, and well, I give off the impression of incredible arrogance. I was very nervous because I was giving this presentation. It's like 6 people, and
Right.
all of them we're just very close. No, I'm just kidding. Like we just oh, there's some buzzing in the. Sorry if you heard that buzzing. I don't know what that is. Might be my headphones. That's weird. Whatever. Well, it keeps doing it, so I don't want to.
Dude, what has this podcast turned into?
There's this buzzing in my ear, and I'm not gonna.
Wait, you're actually still hearing it?
Pop. Yes.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pippered papples.
That was not even close to right. We should probably cut all of this until.
Not a bad idea, actually.
I think it went away. So we can restart, but whatever, it's fine. I'll just go with it. We can maybe cut that. It was like 21 something. But anyway, sorry for that technical difficulty. Anyway, I was giving this presentation, and I was very nervous. And before this presentation, I had drank a cup of coffee that morning, and that's never a good thing for me because then I get even more I just get I don't get I don't get woken up. I just get more frantic more than anything.
Yeah.
And then I got very warm. It was maybe 20 degrees outside, and I was wearing a sweatshirt and a jacket.
Yeah.
And it was just I got to the classroom and I was sweating even when I took off the jacket. Yeah. So then I take off my sweatshirt and my shirt just comes completely off, and I was like, dang it. It's people, and no one no one was doing anything, so it was just everyone just kind of oh yeah. I was like, whatever. So then I pull it back down, and then I realized I had put my shirt on backwards that day. Who does that? Who's 19 years old puts their shirt on backwards?
Who takes
ridiculous
their shirt off with their sweatshirt? Everyone knows you gotta hold the shirt, bro.
Yeah, I know. But it was I was 5 years old by that point. I literally had put my shirt on back. I put it on the right. I put it back on, and it was the same way. So I'd put it on this morning backwards.
I see.
It was so embarrassing. And then I went up there, and I was just sweating and just not speaking well. Just
the whole time you're thinking everyone has seen my nipples.
So that was a fun time. Shout out to my professor for still giving me an A on the presentation.
It's that,
but it was
really. It's that classic saying, if you're nervous, just picture that everyone else has seen your nipples.
No, but if you're nervous, take your clothes off. That's what they say. Thank you to all those who have been supporting. Appreciate that. Speaking of clothes, if you're looking to keep some clothes on this winter, go ahead and pop into our Instagram bio. Cop that dank merch that we have. I'm not going to lie to you. It is incredible. It's not going to be up forever, guys. So if you're well,
I've been thinking about it. Now is the time to cop.
Yeah, it's not gonna be up forever, and it does really help us out if you buy some. So if you don't, then you actually hate us. So let's move on.
I want to give a specific shout out to my guy Ewan. Ewan is a buddy here that is a pretty big fan of the podcast. He was telling me the other day he was in the middle of English class and he was listening to us talk about stupid things.
Aww.
And I just wanted to give him a shout out. His mom's last name is McGregor, so I lost my mind when I figured out that his name
absolutely incredible
is Ewan McGregor. But there's that.
This isn't the actual How sure are you that it's not the actual famous Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I'm not 100% positive.
Okay.
He could be, man. I don't know.
Well, okay. Has he seen Star Wars?
Has he? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Does he like it or no?
Yeah, I think so.
Good. Well, Ewan, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. I never met you, but I feel like we'd be buddies.
He is a meme lord. So.
Oh, dang.
pretty hot fire on the memes.
Yes, actually, while we have this platform, I'd love to give another shout out to our fan, Jane Sheldon. It feels weird to say fan. I'm going to retract that statement. One of our people we know, Jane Sheldon, gave us a shout out on her Instagram. Some of you may have seen it if you follow our Instagram. Never mind. But I didn't repost it. Never mind. But she posted on her Instagram story that her, like, you know how Spotify does like the thing at the end of the year, like they show like who you listen to most. We were the number one podcast she had listened to. So shout out Jane. I'm not gonna lie to you, that feels good, especially since we just started releasing episodes like in September. So
yeah.
That honestly was very nice. So thank you. We appreciate
it means
that.
a lot. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you. So anyway, enough patting our own backs, probably, unless you have something else.
I mean, I was just gonna say that, like, no, I have nothing else. Sorry,
okay,
that was stupid.
Sick. Well, cool. I could tell another story if you want.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna kind of sit here quietly for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that could work. Why don't we do that?
Cool.
Sounds like the ocean. Sorry. It does a little bit. Sounds like the ocean a little bit.
It might be the ocean outside.
Yeah, sick. Well, anyway, I'll tell this story just for those who just would rather not listen to us.
I'll just mute you, and then I won't hear anything.
Actually, that would be perfect. Yeah, why don't you do that? Cool. So anyway, I was at Young Life Camp this summer. I was with my Capernaum buddy. Anyway, it was the bus ride back, which is 20 hours, which was absolutely horrible. Not fun, especially when you have a Capernaum buddy who I love, but they just need a lot of attention. So Sam, by the way, is just listening. Well, not listening, but he's kind of just chilling, like not listening. So
I was gonna try and keep it going. Sorry, Capernaum buddy, 20 hours go.
So anyway, he had gone and sat with someone else because he wanted to play on their phone, and so I was like, I need to take a nap because it was. Yep. I had not slept all week and had not slept on the bus right there. So I was like, I need to just get like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Didn't get that much. I got like 20 minutes because I'm on a bus. And like, buses suck. And it's got to be like 3 a.m. at this point. And so I went up to go check on him to make sure he wasn't just like waking people up and stuff. On the bus ride back, he would wake me up every 30 minutes and be like, hey. And I'd be like, hey, Isaac. It's like so cute. It's so cute, but at one point it's like, dude, I need to sleep so bad.
I miss Isaac.
He is absolutely like, if people know who Isaac is, literally the best person that's ever existed.
Oh, he's so awesome.
I love you, Isaac. But anyway, I went up there and I was walking up there, and literally never has this happened before on the bus ride there or back, but the bus driver just feels the need to brake literally as hard as physically possible. And I'm the only one standing up, and I'm walking up there. He brakes. I fly. I straight up flew 5 to 10 feet, then completely on my face. And then like it was like literally, you know how to say like face first? It was genuinely like I hit my face first, then my body just like worms back to the ground. It was incredibly painful, but I was literally just like, I should be mad and I should just like be embarrassed, but it was so late and I was so tired that I just couldn't care anymore. I just like sat there like, I didn't even laugh, just like, that happened. And then I kind of just got up and walked away. And now it's really funny that I think about it. But again, incredibly painful, incredibly embarrassing. But shout out to that bus driver. Thank you, bus drivers, guys. That means I'm dead for months. So anyway, that was a funny story that happened to me.
So that was a good story. How long ago was that? I think it was on Friday.
Well, I'm sure it was.
I'm gonna kill you.
That's my favorite thing to do of all time. Absolutely my favorite thing ever.
On Friday, I was like studying for this big exam that I had the next morning, and I was like, I can't think right now, so I just went for a run.
Flex.
Yeah. No, I'll get to the flexing later. I went to the gym after it, which is actually what I'm going to talk about. I just think that the gym dynamic makes me feel very uncomfortable. Do you know what I'm getting at? Like,
explain.
Like, you go into the gym and everybody's lifting, right? And it's just the unspoken communication that goes on between everyone. It's just like, I feel like I'm walking into this weird world of rules that I'm not entirely familiar with.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have to live up to everyone's expectations. Like, and then there's jacked dudes that are like, okay, obviously I feel insignificant compared to you, but then there's like guys that aren't jacked that I also weirdly feel intimidated by. Like, I just feel like the whole culture is like intimidation, and no one speaks, and it's weird and quiet. And then I was starting to think about the gym. Like, imagine if aliens were just watching people at a gym. That's the first thing they saw about humanity. It's just like a bunch of people just in a room moving heavy weights around and just like jumping or like pushing stuff. Like, how strange is that when you really think about it? It's so weird.
Well,
anyway,
you look great.
Thanks, buddy. My body hurts.
Yeah. Well, actually, I went to the gym. Well, flex, not gonna lie to you. But no, every time I've gone to the gym, there is an unbreakable code of unwritten laws.
Yeah.
And if you break them, like, you are like outcasted. And so like I had never really been to the gym before this year, and so like I went with a friend, and I literally just like following him around like a puppy. So I was like, I'm just trying not to break any like rules or the status quo or anything.
Yeah.
And I'm always like wondering, like, have I been at this equipment for too long? Like, should I be moving? Like,
exactly.
It's not even like, mine is not like how much I'm lifting or like what I look like. It's more of just like, I don't want to get in these people's way because I don't know what I'm doing, but they clearly do.
Exactly.
Like, I go to the gym and I'm like, I think this is an exercise. I'll do that. Or I go to the gym and I'll just like run on the treadmill, and I'm like, I could have done that at home. I'm just like too nervous to go the other, get everybody's way. So
right.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, and the other thing that happened that night when I went for that run, there's like this park, and I've been talking about how dark it gets here, but it was like 6:00, pitch black. And this park, this trail, it runs under like this canopy of trees. So like it was dark, bro. And I don't know why I decided to run on this path. I brought this headlamp, so I had a headlamp, right? But it was that thing where you start running, right? And you're like, okay, there's probably not anyone behind me.
Yeah.
There's definitely not anyone. But I don't want to look, because if I look and there's someone, I can't handle that. So I'm not going to look. But I definitely feel like there's someone behind me, and then you're just running faster, and you're like, this headlamp's not reaching very far ahead. Like, you just start freaking yourself out, you know? And man, it was funny. It's funny to laugh at almost in the moment, but then also afterwards. I don't know.
Well, at least you're picking up your speed while you're running. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, and then but then you start realizing, dang, if someone actually was behind me, I'm really tired. I don't know if I could out.
I feel that. It's like, dang, I should not have ate that entire large pizza today. That was a mistake.
Dude, I literally did that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had like some lunch deal on like a pizza at Domino's, and I was like, I'm going to eat that. So you ate
an entire large pizza?
To be fair, it's like a medium pizza in the States.
Oh, sweet.
So I had an entire medium pizza.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm eating really healthy here at college.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. No, dude, this first semester has been so bad. Like, gained weight, ate terrible. It's more than weight. It's more just like, you know that your heart is going to kill you in 10 years. And it's like, that's a bummer. Like, knowing that my cholesterol is surely just through the roof. So that's why this week I went and bought like a huge like jug of naked juice, which is absolutely flame. So I just know I'm healthier now.
That's so
I'm kind of washing out. I'm washing out the layers of cholesterol and like the fat and the sodium that I've been consuming. So it actually just feels good.
I used to feel really crap about eating a bunch of bad food, but now I don't feel as bad because I heard about my friend's roommate who spends like 500 pounds a week on ketamine and cocaine. And I'm like, you know what? If I spend a little too much money on food, that's okay.
Yeah, it's a worthy compromise. And
you know that it is that extreme. It's like eat a little too much unhealthy food or be addicted to hard drugs. And there's no middle ground there.
Yeah,
So.
well, food's a gateway drug to cocaine. You guys heard it here first. Food is now the new gateway drug.
No, I think it works like food's a gateway to jeweling, and jeweling is a gateway to weed, and weed is a gateway to hard drugs.
Yeah, that sounds legit. Sounds legit.
Yeah.
Science. For science.
Science.
So, actually, speaking of weird stuff, the other night, Hillard and I were hanging out, and he's like, dude, you've got to watch Black Mirror. And I was like, sure, why not? Yeah. And so we just watched some random episodes. I guess they're not really connected, I guess, so you can watch kind of like any episode. But we watched one of his favorites, and I'm not going to lie to you. It was unbelievably good. Really? So good. Yeah, which I had heard it been hyped up, but unbelievably good. So good. Just fascinating. I can't even really describe it, but it's kind of just like trippy, but then like psychological explorations of like people and the way that they react to situations, but then also like just thrilling and really good acting. Really, really, really good, and just the writing is so good.
What was the premise of this episode?
Basically, these two guys are like stuck in this cabin, and they've been stuck there for like 5 years, and so then like they haven't talked, so like they're trying to like talk. Like this one guy's trying to get this other guy to talk to him, just like explain why he's there. So like basically the premise is why you shouldn't be here unless you did something wrong. It's not like prison, but it's just kind of like outcasts from society. Yeah. So they kind of like telling their stories. I don't want to give it away, but yeah. Wow.
Dang, that sounds interesting.
You would like it.
Are any of them like true, or is it all just like conjecture?
No, it's like futuristic, like weird stuff like that typically. Really? But yeah.
Interesting. I've been watching kind of this trilogy. It's a bit underrated. You might not have heard of it. It's called Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I've not.
Anyway, they're really solid books. You know, it's all about this. Well, they're also movies, which is what I've been watching. But it's this guy named Dumbledore Calrissian, and he has to. His name's Dumbledore Calrissian.
Really?
Yeah, he's got to take the ring to Gandalf, and there, he has to actually use it to give the plans to these people who have to destroy this giant moon that kills planets, and save the universe. So, yeah,
sounds good at least.
Yeah, it's really coherent, like how I explained it.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yeah.
So the creators of Lord of the Rings, or like the people who did something with it, I don't even know, but they're making a movie called Mortal Engines. Have you seen the trailers for that?
Yeah, I have.
Well, that's kind of weird, but I'm like, I kind of trust the guys who did Lord of the Rings, but also that's kind of weird, so I don't know. But I was wondering if you'd seen that.
Well, I didn't really like The Hobbit, in all honesty.
Did not like The Hobbit that much. I mean, it's still like, it wasn't bad. It was just fine. It was just, fine. Especially when you see Lord of the Rings, it's like, it can't really compare.
And especially when there was just so much that they did that wasn't in the books. They reached out to the actor for Aragorn. I forget his name. They were like, "Do you want to be in the movie?" He was like, "No, I'm not in the book. I don't want to be in the movie." So I was like, mad props to that guy, because he totally just could have made a bunch of money. But
that is actually respectable. He also probably knew the movie was not going to be that good. But I respect that. No, but I mean, typically people take the money over if it's good or not. So
yeah, and but seriously, Lauren and I have been watching Lord of the Rings because I'm like, I love these movies. It would mean a lot if you watched them, and she's watching them, and she's actually really invested, which is cool.
I really need to watch those again. I haven't seen them in so long, and like. We were talking about something, and I was like, I can't even, like... we were playing Lord of the Rings Conquest, that stupid game. Yeah. We were playing that game, which is unbelievably fun.
Such a fun game.
And I was like, I miss this, like, lore, and I have not seen him enough. Because I didn't watch him... Well, I watched him pretty early, and then I kind of, like, just didn't watch him. I always loved them. But, like... And then Star Wars came, and that became definitely the obsession. And then... haven't like gone back onto Lord of the Rings, but I know how good they are, and like I want to see them again. It's just hard to sit down and watch like 20 something hours.
It's definitely a commitment. Yeah.
But I want to like this. Well, I was gonna say this break, but then I was gonna say that
Yeah.
you probably already watched them. So
Yeah.
whatever. I hate you. But
It's actually kind of good to do them you could do half movies. That's kind of what Laura and I have been doing. You watch an hour and a half of The Fellowship, and then you watch another hour and a half, and you're finished with it. And the same for all of them, so it breaks it up. But I don't know. Once you get into it, you can't stop.
yeah.
But it's just a starting process.
What I love about those movies, and I wasn't even there for this, but they don't do this anymore. But what they did was they filmed those 3 movies all like in succession.
Yeah.
Then they released them at the same time every year, but just 3 years in a row instead of waiting like 2 years after and 2 years after that. Like, which would have been really cool to experience in theaters, which I didn't, but would have been cool. But
and also I think for the story, it's a better thing if you have 2 years in between to change and add. Like, while sure you could improve some stuff, I think you would also lose some of the original dream,
and like,
then
you're like in that phase for so long where you're kind of just like, this is what I'm doing, and like I'm like in it to win it for this. Yeah.
Right. And that's what they say, like,
in it to win it.
Yeah, that's like every producer has that on their short.
Got a little distracted because I was thinking about something, but have you seen Post Malone dressed up as Aragorn?
I don't think so. Why does this ring some bells, though? Let me see.
I'll show you the picture. You might not be able to see it very well in the...
I remember he had a sword. I've seen
If you're on YouTube, you can see it right now if you're on YouTube. But for those who are listening, go on the internet and just look up Post Malone Lord of the Rings, and you'll see a picture of it's just so iconic. I freaking love Post Malone so much, dude.
Legend.
He's the best person on freaking earth. I love that guy. Gosh, he's amazing.
Oh, he's funny.
Anyway, that's pretty awesome that you're watching Lord of the Rings. I need to watch those again. I have a lot of movies I want to watch this break, whatever. But...
I'm the same with books.
Okay. I'm gonna quit this podcast.
Done.
No, I'm kidding. But
yeah,
I want to watch For Christmas is so bad. We have to watch that. We need to watch that.
I'm so game. I love that movie.
Oh god, that movie is amazing.
I'm so ready to be home. It's freaking 9 days. I'm home in 9 days.
I'm pumped. When do you get pumped. Do you get home like in the morning, or like at night?
Okay, let me think. Actually, we fly out on the 9th. We get home the night of the 19th. Actually, because going backwards extends the day or something like that. If
you're going backwards, and
I think so.
But then you're leaving in the morning. You get back on the 19th.
No.
Rewind time.
Right, and if you fly the plane fast enough, it's like Superman.
It's like Superman when he spins around the Earth.
Right,
dude,
exactly.
That movie is bizarre. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah,
that's a weird one. That makes literally no sense. That literally makes zero sense.
I never enjoyed any of the Superman movies that have come out over the last 10 years.
Do you like Man of Steel? I kind of liked Man of Steel.
It was okay, but then I feel like Batman vs. Superman ruined it.
Yeah, well, rewatching Man of Steel, I'm like, yeah, that was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Batman vs. Superman, I liked some, but it literally made no sense. It literally makes no sense. The storyline is confusing. Like, it doesn't add up. And they cut a bunch of scenes that actually, if you put those together, make sense. So they have like an extended version, which is kind of good and actually makes sense. It's so long. It's not good though. It's just like fair.
I just none of the Marvel movies are Marvel.
That's DC
movies. Excuse me. I'm not the biggest
Wonder
Marvel fan. I'm even less of a DC fan.
Yeah.
If you take away the original Batmans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. The new DC stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen Wonder Woman though?
No.
That actually is a good movie, and
really?
I would say that Gal Gadot sounds like she probably has a good personality. I would say,
right?
Probably donates a lot of money to charity and stuff. I would guess.
Very.
She's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gal Gadot. Very cool. That movie is actually very good, though. It's like a good movie. Did not like Justice League that much, but
yeah, Justice League was. Yeah. To be fair, I enjoyed Infinity War. I am excited for the next movie.
I liked all the MCU stuff for a while, and then kind of got out of it just because it was too much, I think, for me. I just didn't. I couldn't keep up with the movies or whatever.
And Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, that was the problem. Star Wars.
It will always have my heart.
But anyway, I watched Black Panther. That was early this year, and I had been out of the Marvel stuff for like a year and a half, probably.
Yeah.
Like maybe seeing one every once in a while. But Black Panther was so good.
That was a good movie.
So good. And more than just the movie, it was just important, but it was just too flame. Chadwick Boseman is the coolest person on the planet. Michael B. Jordan's so attractive. Saw him in Creed 2, and I was like, wow, I just dislike myself. Like, seeing him like work out, and like I was like, I'm jacked right now, like I'm pumped to like run, and I was like, wait a second, no I'm not. I dislike myself. I do a podcast, I don't freaking box. Dang it. I
need to go put on my khakis and my blue button up again.
You hate being this way. Michael Jordan is so sick, dude. He looks amazing in his freaking outfits, and he's so funny, and God. Anyway, freaking stop talking about Creed 2. It's a good movie though. I'm not crying, but anyway.
Did you like Creed 2?
I did. It wasn't as good as Creed 1.
Really?
But it was like very good as well.
I loved Creed 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Love Creed.
Really? I think I've burnt out on the boxing movies. I don't know.
See, I hadn't seen like any. I haven't seen Rockies still, which is
I think one of the better boxing movies I've seen is that one with the guy from Gladiator, Russell Crowe. Do you remember we watched that in history class?
Yes. What was that though? Dang it. Oh man.
That was a good movie.
I actually genuinely forget what that's called, but yeah, that wasn't bad. I liked Creed though. Creed. Yeah. So the director and writer of Creed is Ryan Coogler, who did Black Panther and also did Fruitvale Station. Fruitvale Station is such a good movie. So he's done like 3 movies, and I love that guy, Ryan Coogler. If you're listening, I don't know why you would be, but you're the best director besides Christopher Nolan right now. Anyway, Creed 2 did not have Ryan Coogler though, and I didn't think it was good. But he's doing Black Panther 2 though, so that's nice.
Oh wow!
But yeah, and we were talking about MCU. Yeah, sorry. So I liked Black Panther and kind of got back into Marvel. So then I started rewatching a few. Have you seen Thor Ragnarok?
No.
See, you would like that movie. I know you would like the movie. It's very funny. It's very funny. And
Is it very cool? Thank you, Kanye.
Thank you. Thank you, Thor. Very cool. And Chris Hemsworth, again, so attractive. I really dislike how attractive every Marvel hero is. That's why Mr. Incredible is the best, you guys. If you're listening, look at Mr. Incredible. He's the best. Anyway, but I watched Thor Ragnarok. That was flame. But then, Infinity War was very good as well. I'm ready for Deadpool to be in the Avengers. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I pretty much need that. So, Marvel, if you're listening, put Deadpool in the Avengers. Thank you. Thank you, Deadpool. Very cool.
Very cool. All right, this has been a fun one, my guy.
It has been fun.
As always. I mean, I've really enjoyed the feeling like I'm having a conversation with a Christmas llama, which is a really famous American tradition to all my British viewers. The Christmas llama is steeped in tradition in America, so you should Wikipedia that.
Thank you. Thank you, America.
Thank you, llama. Very cool.
Thank you, Walmart. Very cool. They gave me the sweater. I mean, I paid for it, but whatever. Anyway, thank you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Buy
go
some
watch
merch.
4 Christmases. Go buy some merch. Go watch Creed 2. If you're a guy, go work out and look like Michael B. Jordan. Or a girl. I don't know. I was trying to make myself feel worse. Trying to make myself feel worse. So, anyway, thank you, everybody. Have a good one.
Very cool.
Merry Christmas, almost. So, we'll see you guys.
Bye.
How do you turn this thing off?
Oh, wait.